Hello, everyone. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. I have a wonderful entrepreneur on the show today. This is a show you absolutely don't want to miss, if I may say so myself. I mean, if you want to think about mindful living combined with eco-luxury living, I mean, it's sort of a unique combination. It's something that when it came across my desk, I had to bring Stephanie O'Brien on the show. She's the founder and CEO of Aashna Living. But that combination of sort of mindful living and eco-luxury living spaces really inspired me to reach out to Stephanie and bring her on the show, because I just love this combination of what she's able to do with the company. We're going to get into it all, but I'm sort of teasing it a little bit at the beginning of the show. I'm going to let Stephanie explain it, and then we're going to get into it. But Stephanie, welcome to the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series.
Thank you. Thrilled to be here.
It's super great to have you. I mean, when my team brought this across my desk, I'm like, okay, let's get Stephanie on the show. Let's bring her on immediately, because it's such an interesting concept you have. But without further ado, because I know people are on pins and needles thinking and wondering what you do, let's talk about Aashna Living and give them the full 30,000 feet view of what you're doing with Aashna Living.
Wow, that's a big one, but I will try to narrow it down for this space. Over the last couple of years, people's lifestyles have changed dramatically, towards seeking accessible wellness, flexibility, community, healthy and sustainable living options. Yet it's nearly been impossible to find a home that supports our desire for a healthy and better future. So that's where we come in. Our priority is cultivating living spaces that simplify and improve the day-to-day quality of life. We're in the feeling good business. Aashna
I love it. The feeling good business. I mean, you're infused with fun and refreshing activities. You'll feel like you're on vacation all the time. Let's talk about a little bit. So let's say I'm someone that's a little stressed out, like everybody is these days, and I want to get inspired. I want to reach out to Aashna Living. What do you provide? What's the service or product that you provide people that need to get into this sort of, better frame of mind?
Sure. I mean, Aashna Living has developed a membership model. First of all, it's an eco-social housing platform where you have accessible wellness, community, sustainable living options. Members can live, visit, work, and play on the fly. And we're giving you guys the power of choice because we're creating flexible leases, accommodations, locations, and membership options to fit any lifestyle. Essentially cultivating the best of mindful living with climate-smart architecture, with extraordinary comfort and services. And to answer to go more in depth, I guess, micro level, speaking of the services, well-being is a part of our core DNA. And we provide a variety of retreat style activities, holistic development, workshops, workouts, and conversations where members can stay connected to our social club that's in person or digital. So we also include co-working spaces that are super relevant in today's work from anywhere business environment. And hopefully we'll be a place where you can, pop in and come and go at your leisure.
Okay, I love it so much. So let's say I'm feeling a little stressed out. Let's say, I'm saying to myself, wow, I need some help. I mean, I saw Stephanie on the .com magazine show. I love this Aashna Living, this mindful living and this eco-luxury living spaces. Am I going somewhere? What am I doing to sort of get engaged with Aashna?
Well, there's a couple ways that you can engage. We have memberships that are non-residents. So if you want to get connected to your folks or meet some people that care about creating healthier habits or reducing stress, we have resources for that for all of our members. And we have a tiered membership level on our website at www.aashnaliving.com, where you can apply to become a member now and have access to these resources and to your folks, so to speak, so you can have the support and well-being that you're looking for while we're being built. And then our locations, you can have in real life experiences, but we also have partnered with almost a dozen partnerships right now all over the US, where if you want to go to a wellness style activity or a breath work or sound bath or yoga, we have partnered with some of the world leaders and have access to them at a discount via your Aashna membership. And then once we're built, you can actually come for a day. You can have a day pass or come and stay with us for a month to a year in a home or room and take part in these activities with like-hearted people.
I love it. So you have great partnerships now, and of course you've got on the blueprint to build these amazing sort of lifestyle places across the country. Where's the first one going to be built, and what's that going to look like?
Sure. Our first location, we're ready to break ground now in Asheville, North Carolina, which is magical. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's a very vibrant city, 200 waterfalls, farm-to-table restaurants, breweries, wineries, the Biltmores, mountains, and hiking. And the live music scene is crazy. So if you want to just come and visit, we are also within a mile from the most popular area, so less than a mile. So it's walking distance. So you have the community, but you also have access to urban conveniences when and if desired.
Yeah, I love it. And everybody's talking about Asheville. It's a great spot. Now, when it's built, so I'll be probably still stressed out when it's built, let's just say, and I want to come to, your facility. I want to rent a room or even rent a home, from up to a month up to a year. What's going to happen to me? Like, what's your vision about, what's going to happen to Andy Jacobs, sort of what's going to happen with my mind and my, my body, by attending one of these inspiring places that you're about to, finish building because you already broke ground?
Sure. I mean, we're all about mind, body, and being. And so from inception, you'll get an onboarding email. One of our, experienced coordinators will reach out to you, find out what you're most interested, and make sure that we have fun, friendship, and itinerary all set up for you when you arrive.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to go. I'm just going to feel so great after I'm done. You're going to take care of everything. And one thing that kind of resonated for us is it's going to be a sustainable stay. I know that you're real big into that idea, and you're combining that sort of sustainability with a social club, with mindful living, all combined with sort of an eco-luxury living space. So let's talk about that. What inspired that? I love it so much.
Yeah, well, first of all, we designed an environmentally responsible development system that uses natural and clean building materials. So when you go there, there's not like toxic off-gassing fumes or Glade plugins, not to poo-poo Glade, but none of that will exist. We'll have the best, using the best innovation in green technology, and which substantially cuts our cost, build time, reduces waste, while having the potential to improve the members' health. And it's a triple win for residents, shareholders, and the planet. Better health, better planet.
I love it. I love it. Better health, better planet. Now, Stephanie, I know you're a big believer in surrounding yourself with talented people. I mean, everybody shares this common idea that we want to make the world a better place by providing a service to people to help them sort of, maybe cope with the stresses of day-to-day living, and maybe, do better with regard to putting themselves in the position to sort of be inspired. Stephanie, so what is it about this offering that really sort of resonates for your entire team? What's the thing or the common goal that everybody gets behind?
Sure. I think it's because we care about others and everything else. And a lot of us want to do high value work where we are contributing instead of just existing. Yeah,
that makes all the sense in the world. I love it so much. What's your background? Let's talk about sort of where you came from. Why did you focus in on helping others the way that you are?
I don't know if it's part of my core DNA, but my desire to make things better is what drives my passion for innovation. It has since I was a young girl, and it certainly, is the core, incubation process that flamed the idea for Aashna. Originally, I was in real estate for almost 2 decades now, and I was successful by any means, over 25 awards, top 1%. I should have been happy by normal standards. And there was at one point where I had decided to move to Brooklyn from Manhattan in the early 2000s when it was still a fringe market, because I really needed to find a silver lining, and everyone told me it was the Wild West. I said, I don't mind being the sheriff. And I was like, that there was a silver lining there for me. And that desire to make things better and be able to provide standards of excellence to everyday people, because there was like this underserved market in this fringe market, which was becoming a gold mine, and they deserve the same level of professionalism as the super wealthy, and this brought a sense of value to my work, and I realized, at some point, which is where we are now, just kind of tell you where this whole journey began, was that, my values and my work were no longer aligned, that, there's systemic problems and outdated issues within the real estate market that needed to be addressed. And I had the knowledge and resources and experience to do something about it. So I set out to do it. And that was the birth of Aashna Living.
I love it. Of course, if I spent all the time on the show talking about all the awards and all of the accolades that you have in the real estate field, we would have taken up the whole 30 minutes. So I'm glad we didn't do that. But listen, what you're doing is really remarkable. So what's your why? Why do you get up in the morning? Why are you so passionate about, breaking ground and putting this, sustainable, mindful living program together at Aashna?
Yeah, I mean, I basically, back to the same reason I think that I attract other like-hearted folks is that everything that I do is in order to contribute. I'm driven to contribute, not just exist, not just take. And at Aashna, I figured out a way to maximize quality of life and minimize environmental impact. And I can offer that whereby, becoming a member, partner, investor, you can feel good and also feel good about yourself too.
Yeah, I love it, Stephanie. On the first facility, the one that you broke ground on, how many people will be able to come at a time to sort of enjoy this live, work, visit, play scenario that you're envisioning?
Sure. This first location, it's got 29 units, 58 beds, and those are all double occupancy. So anywhere from 100 to 120. I also have shared buildings and a wellness center and edible gardens. And you can basically live off the land for a month if there was a natural disaster. So we also have day passes. So I think the capacity is probably going to be about 150 to 200 people. I like to keep it semi-small, not like a dorm. These are sustainable housing. So there's breathable foundations. There's no shared walls. These are all, small scale architecture. So it's kind of a unique product. But again, we're going to be going back to different construction technology and innovation, green innovation at every project. But the first one is close to 150 to 200 people maximum, but we're going to have events and camps all over. So you don't feel like you missed out. You'll be able to stay connected wherever you are.
I love it. And of course, people that can't make it to the Aashna facility when it's finally put together, they'll be able to engage online through one of your programs and memberships. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, that's super cool. So I love it. I love it so much. And of course, we know that there's a connection between the mind, the body, and the spirit. And so many people these days really need to sort of start thinking about the way in which they make themselves better, the way in which they become more of a positive light into the world, the way in which they fill up a dark room with their own lightness, and then their lightness fills up the dark room and connects to other people that sort of share the lightness to bring lightness into the world. What's the project, date? When are we going to see, this Aashna Living that you're working on? Because so many people are going to be talking about it and they're going to say, man, I can't wait. I mean, let's get this thing done. I want to come and hang out with Stephanie and the world-class team and come out to Aashna Living.
Sure. Well, we're going to be launching our crowdfunding campaign, which is a fintech model that we're using because we want everyday people to be able to have an ownership stake or a piece of the companies that they believe in and that they want to succeed in. So that'll be launching any day now. And from that point, once we raise the funds that we have on that particular goal, we'll be able to start breaking ground and be ready for occupancy within 7 to 9 months. So by this time next year, you'll be able to come and hang out. But we plan on having meetups and hangouts long before then.
That's such a great idea, of course, to crowdfund it, because then people can be involved. And of course, their money can go towards something that's helping other people. It's kind of a beautiful cycle that you've got going here where someone can invest and they're investing in something that's beautiful. And that beautiful thing that they invest in helps people. And those people, are able to sort of become more powerful, and then it cycles back around sort of as a pay it forward kind of a program. Is that what you're thinking? Stephanie, that sounds really, really awesome. And let's talk about entrepreneurship a little bit, because, so many entrepreneurs are watching the show. They're watching what you're doing. They're going to be, logging on to Aashna Living and checking it all out and seeing where it all goes, and perhaps want to get involved in supporting it in many different ways. For the younger entrepreneurs watching the show, some of them are having a tough time. Some of them are having roadblocks, or maybe they're hitting a pothole in the road. Could you give some advice to the younger entrepreneurs watching the show, Stephanie, about what it takes to get through those roadblocks and potholes in the road and come out the other side being better for it?
Sure. First of all, let it be something that you're passionate about. It takes a certain person to be able to handle the ups and downs and the unpredictability of the innovation business, but someone has to lead the way. So once you decide, there's a few skills that you really need to hone in on. If you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, you probably already have that. Outside of creativity and innovation is resilience and responsiveness and being able to think fast on your feet and pivot, and to bake that into your business model before you ever try to succeed or scale. So if you can do that as a person, as you're going through the ups and downs, and if you're able to find ways and plug in and connect to people and groups like at Aashna Living that will support you along the way to be able to get the foundation you need and the strength and support that you need, then use everything that is accessible to you.
Yeah, I love that. It makes all the sense in the world. When we're taking it online, the online platform that you have, what you just said made me think about something, the groups. How important is it to sort of get into a group that resonates for you to help you with, mindful living?
Honestly, community is everything for me, and genuine community is even more important. I've been a part of different social clubs for several years now, and finding that family outside of the chosen family, outside of your traditional bloodline family, is really important in thriving and supporting us as individuals to thrive, which is, the same things where I went back to 1 + 1 is not 2, it's 11. And when you can put 1, 2, 3, or 4 people together, the chances of you succeeding and manifesting your desires is even greater.
Wow, it sounds so interesting. What's your thought with regard to people coming to Aashna Living, to the first facility? What do you think? How long are they going to stay? Because it sounds to me like once I got there, I wouldn't want to leave.
Well, the good thing about our responsive and flexible business model is that you can come from 1 month to 1 year to 2 years, whatever you choose. We have an option to fit nearly any lifestyle. So if people have a child or they have grandparents and we don't have just one room, you can change your unit mix, your lease. It's flexible. If you have to go somewhere because your work calls you to do it, or you're now able to work remotely, we have those options as well with our flexible lease structure.
I love it. And when we talk about flexibility, will there be a menu of things that people can do? How do they know what's going on at the Aashna Living Center when they get there?
Okay, well, we have a portal for our members, and that's also non-residents, so they'll have access to all of the events and mindful living events and activities that are available to them. And then, based on your membership, you'll be able to open up different portals to different events. All of the events will mostly be advertised. You may not be able on our webpage, and you will not be able to click into them unless you have a certain type of membership. You'll have different tiers. We'll have maybe 3 events to 5 events to unlimited events, depending on how often they feel that it is beneficial to them.
Wow, that's great. And let's talk about something that, I just thought about. It's my favorite subject, actually, food. When I come to Aashna Living, what's the food scenario? What does that all look like? How do we get fed?
Sure. We do have a communal building with our co-working spaces. There's also got a communal kitchen. So you can we'll do a pop-up lunch on a Friday or a brunch on Sunday. But we also can go out most of the places that we're building in, which we're building in several different locations: Austin, Asheville, Nashville, Boulder, Bend. These are all on our menu. Why Asheville is the first, but they're nature rich, where we can go out foraging. There's so many farm to table, amazing chefs in these particular areas where the culinary scene is huge, where we can actually have a chef-made meal on a Sunday and we can actually forage for it. So there'll be lots of activities around food. We have vegan chef that we're going to be promoting on our website soon that will offer packages and ways to cook 5 healthy meals in 5 days in 5 minutes. So these are the types of things we're thinking about, back to the whole wellness-focused, eco-friendly lifestyle.
Wow, it's so awesome. I mean, this is going to be so inspiring. I mean, nothing in my life, is better than getting out into nature. And I mean, you mentioned foraging. I mean, that's something I've never done before, but it makes sense. I think that's a super cool thing and something that is going to resonate for so many people, especially in this high stress world that we have. I'm just so excited that I was able to get you on the show now, Stephanie, because a year from now, I'm probably not going to be able to book you in. We're going to watch Aashna Living. I mean, it's just a great idea.
Thank you. I hope you can come to our grand opening, Andy.
I would love that. I would love it. Well, listen, we're going to be there. My wife and I, maybe little, Louis, our little Pomeranian, 8-pound Pomeranian as well.
Absolutely.
And it's awesome. Listen, Stephanie, this is great. I'm so excited about what's about to happen. I mean, the community that you're going to build in First is so lucky to have you, and it's going to be so lucky to have so many, interesting and powerful people coming into town to take advantage of this wonderful, sustainable stay, this, mindful living, eco-luxury opportunity. Stephanie, I wanted to thank you so much for coming on the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today. We're going to watch this because, man, oh man, it's just needed in the world, and you're a real leader. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Andy. Really pleasure to be here. And keep an eye out on Republic crowdfunding platform soon, where we'll be launching our project.